DIYers, what's going on? Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. Hey, we're talking sliding glass doors today. In our case, ours goes out to our patio deck. And in the event that you cannot get your door out of the frame, you might be maybe replacing your rollers. We're going to show you a couple tricks and common causes that lead to this. Kind of annoying, but hopefully we can help you. Let's take a look. All right, DIYers, here we are at the sliding glass door and frame. It feeds out to our patio deck. And again, in today's video, we're going to talk about the common causes that lead to you not being able to pull your sliding glass door out of its frame. And before we dive into the common causes, DIYers, I am going to give you my absolute recommendation before starting this video. Do not apply hydraulic presses or anything to expand that frame. You will damage it. And I promise you this, DIYers, in the event that you damage the outer portion of your frame that your door fits into or rests into and slides back and forth in, that is going to cost you some serious money. So I wanted to cover that first. Please, I'm begging you, stay away from trying to do that. You will unfortunately cause more harm to the frame itself than what has already taken place and not allowing you to get your door out. Please, again, do not apply any hydraulic presses and wood to try to expand your frame to get your door out. And by this point, watching this video, you might be a little frustrated, might be a little annoyed, because probably you have already been trying to remove your glass door or sliding glass door from the frame. And again, we're going to talk about some common causes and hopefully help you out to get that door out of the frame. And here are the tools that we are going to be using and referencing as we work through this little common cause video project. And the very first thing I recommend doing is just take a look at your frame, take a look at your door. Do you see any damage? Do you see any bends in the frame? Any warpage? And go along the exterior portion where the frame meets the actual wood frame of your house. Look at the caulk bead. And as you can see right away, the top right corner, you can see that the caulk has separated just in that corner. However, feeding further into the center of the frame and all the way over, there is no caulk separation. In addition, coming here and coming down, there is no caulk separation as you see here, again, all the way down. So we can share with you a bit of information on houses, whether it was built last year, 2 months ago, 5 years ago, 25 years ago, 200 years ago. Your house actually moves during the seasons, during the temperatures and climate changes, and the house expands and contracts accordingly. Again, that's just physics. It's how it happens. And because of that, well, you might actually have just a little bit of pressure on your door frame that you didn't have a year ago, or even maybe 2 months ago, if it was different temperatures outside. So again, take a look at your frame. We do have separation right there, as you can see, and that plays a role in getting your sliding glass door out of its frame and feeding down to this portion. What I want to do is actually put the level on the bottom portion of the frame. And common cause number 2, not in the likely order, however, your bottom frame may be offset. All right, DIYers, a quick reposition of the camera. We are now looking at the very bottom frame portion of our sliding glass door frame, and it comes up off the floor about 1 inch, and we are going to reference this little section right here on the outer portion of the inner track. And I've got my Craftsman level. I'm going to carefully position the level on that little track and mount. And from here, what I'm going to do is come up, and again, we are going to check to see if our frame itself is level, and it is ever so slightly offset, but that's not bad being 20 years old. And in the event that you have an aggressive imbalance or unaligned door frame, I'll tell you what, DIYers, that will make it very difficult to pull and remove your sliding glass door from the frame. However, doesn't mean it's impossible. If you have an unalignment, again, in the door frame, you may just have to pick and choose the portion of the bottom track where you remove the door from. So for example, if you use a level to see if your frame itself is offset, and it's offset to the high end here, and it's offset to the low end here, you might want to just open up the door maybe 3 inches and try to remove it from the low section of the frame there, as opposed to the high end there. Taking a step back, and again, what I was just referencing, in the event that your frame is offset and not level and the low end is on this section, well, just open the door a few inches and attempt to remove it from the bottom portion of that frame at the low point again, as opposed to the high point. And that might help. However, on to the next issue. We're going to unlock our door, and we'll probably open it about an inch. And when the door is open, maybe an inch, maybe a half an inch, the gap in between the door and the frame itself should be the exact same on top as it is on the very bottom. And if it is not, well, you have unaligned rollers. In our case, we've got a roller set on each end of the bottom portion of the door. We do not have any rollers on top. Some doors do. So again, in the event that you open your door and you have a much different gap from bottom to top, you may want to continue carefully adjusting your rollers all the way to the full up and stowed position inside the lower portion of your door, and attempt to remove your door when the rollers are configured in the fully stowed and up position. In addition, you have already, we are assuming, removed your bottom cap. It looks like the previous owner has a piece of tape, but that's okay. The bottom cap may have broke, and in your case, you have removed the cap and you have inserted a Phillips screwdriver or flathead screwdriver or hex screwdriver, or Allen for that matter, whatever your door is, and adjusted the rollers to the full up position to allow the absolute most clearance to pull that door out of the frame. However, unfortunately, over the years, some rollers just seize up and don't allow you to pull the roller wheels all the way up to the stowed and up position. And in that case, it's making it difficult to pull the door out of the frame because, again, the wheels are not fully pulled up into the door, giving you that clearance to pull the door out of the frame. In addition, a very common cause, well, maybe your rollers have been adjusted up, but again, the screw itself is seized in a way, not allowing the rollers to go all the way up. In DIYers, all it takes is a fraction of a measurement to cause havoc and not allow you to pull that door out of the frame. And what I'm going to do now is reposition the camera. We are going to pull the door up, and I'm going to show you the tool that will allow you to reset and straighten out your rollers, because in the event that your screw is not pulling the rollers all the way up, well, the rollers themselves might not be straight. Back to the table, and on the bottom is our Phillips screwdriver, again, just to adjust that screw on the inner portion of our rollers to pull those wheels up and down and adjust them from left roller kit to the right roller kit. And that scraper is the next tool we are going to use. I'll get the camera in position and show you what we're going to do. All right, DIYers, a quick reposition of the camera, and I'm going to direct my attention to this portion of the frame right here. In our case, it's vinyl. Yours may be aluminum. However, I'm going to slide the sliding glass door open maybe 8 inches, 10 inches, maybe a foot, and I am going to carefully pull up on the door and slide it to a point where the frame itself, not the rollers, but the outer frame portion right here, is resting on this. And DIYers, be very careful. You do not want to damage this portion of the frame. And at that point, we are going to bring this tool into the mix and adjust those rollers, because right now they might be seized to a point where they are slightly offset and crooked. And DIYers, that's going to make it very tough to get your door out of the frame. And again, from here, I'm going to pull up on the door and ever so carefully rest it on this portion of the frame. As you can see, it is now resting on that portion of the frame, and on the opposite end of the door, we have cleared up a good chunk of space in between the frame and the door, and we can now pull up on this portion and gain access to the rollers that, again, might be offset ever so slightly, and we are going to straighten them out. And again, I'm going to grab right here, use the little scraper tool. Do your absolute best not to put your fingers in there. That would not be good. Pull up on the door like shown here, and carefully adjust the rollers. And I think I adjusted them pretty good. In our case, they weren't really offset, so there wasn't much adjusting to take place. To a better close-up, and again, in the event that your scraper is not helping get underneath this portion of the frame and to the rollers, what you can do is get a very long screwdriver and come in here and ever so carefully pull up on the door and straighten out those rollers. From here, pull up on the door and remove it, as shown here. And now it is fully removed from the frame and track, and I highly recommend having something laid down on the floor to alleviate any damage to your floor, whether you have wood floors, tile floors, or carpet for that matter, because the rollers themselves can cause damage to tile, can cause damage to wood, and any grease that you applied over the years in those rollers, you really don't want that stuff in your carpet. Taking a big step back on the opposite end of the door, as you can see, again, it is fully removed from the bottom portion of the frame. And at the very top, you can see it is basically only resting on the frame. It is removed. There is a gap in between. And DIYers, the bottom portion of your frame might not be the only thing causing your issues. Again, the top portion of the frame might be the root cause of why you cannot get your door positioned in a way up in that little track or section there to again pull your door out. To a different camera angle, what I did was carefully rest the door in a way where we can access the bottom rollers. And in our case, here is what they look like. They are not in the best condition. These are every bit of 20 plus years old. Very likely that they are the originals. And that one is kind of offset and dented. Look at that. Lubrication is not going to help these rollers. They are done and needing to be replaced. And again, what we just did was basically adjust the rollers because, well, these are seized. Check that out. You can see just by getting that little scraper tool in, I was able to adjust the rollers where they are straight, because in the event that you pull your door up and the rollers are offset like that, that's gonna make it impossible to get your door out. Again, carefully use that scraper, properly align and level the rollers without putting your fingers in there. And that will help, hopefully, get your door out. Taking a step back and scrolling above right now for your help is a video link on replacing those exact rollers we just showed you with these brand new rollers. Stainless steel. Check those out. And down below in the comment section, as well as the description section, will be a link on where to purchase these, and those are going to be very nice. All right, DIYers, a big step back on the other side of the table. And again, the common causes of why you can't get your sliding glass door out of the frame. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, do not apply or use any hydraulic presses or big pieces of wood or 2x4s to expand your frame. The last thing you want is to damage your frame. And then basically it's ruined. It'll never be able to perform as it could without it being broken. And my recommendation, in the event that you tried everything we just did in this video and you're still not able to get your sliding glass door out of its frame, just be patient. Wait a few months and allow the temperatures to change outside, which will ultimately change the house itself, whether it is going to contract ever so slightly or expand, or it just may need a few months to properly settle to allow the pressure to be taken off the frame so you can conveniently pull that sliding glass door out, replace your rollers, and put it right back in. So again, that is our recommendation. However, for your convenience, down below in the comment section as well as the description section are going to be several helpful links on how to adjust your rollers and how to properly lubricate your rollers and more. So definitely check that out. We hope this helps. Let us know if you have any questions. And real quick, DIYers, a sneak peek at the roller sets themselves that were installed in our sliding glass door we were just showing you. And again, your rollers just might be offset. And just by inserting a screwdriver or that scraper, you can adjust your rollers so they're adjusted and level to give you the proper clearance to pull that door out of the frame. And these are in bad shape. Lubrication only helped again for about 6 months, but that was it. Again, that is what you might be experiencing. This one roller, or this one for that matter, just might be positioned in a way and not level like that or straight to allow you to pull it out. All right, DIYers, down at the workstation and Mom and Dad's jet ski in-house for DIY repair videos. That will be fun. Coming around, we've got our DIY channel skateboards that we custom made. However, it is time to clean our glass. Down below in the comment section as well as the description section is a link to purchase this product. It continues to work perfectly for us. We definitely recommend it. Thanks again for watching.